Hey everybody, Shawn Fury here with Shawn Fury's Hero Training School. Getting my camera set up for you for today's segment of the hero training. So we've been talking about the heroes that you know, what they did and why it mattered, what all those heroes had in common, heroes as guardians of the good life, right? And what does that good life mean? What's good about it? A good life is a life in which you can experience need satisfaction and advance progress towards personal goals, right? So we've talked about need satisfaction and heroism, and we've even talked about why you can create good experiences for yourself and others, why you can create a good life. And we specifically broke that down into experience modification, that good and bad experiences don't just happen, they're constructed out of the out of the character and arrangement of situational variables. So let me just touch on that real quick. Character refers to one's habits of thinking and action. Okay? So it's your patterns of thought behavior and your patterns of physical social behavior, right? When you see somebody get excited every time that there's a sport on TV, a football game or a baseball game, you can tell that they are in the habit of watching sports, right? Same thing if someone smokes every time they get off the phone with a relative. You can tell that are in the habit of smoking as a coping skill for dealing with stress, right? So uh, experiences arise out of the character or the patterns of situational variables, like how do people habitually behave? What do they habitually like? Are they typically in a bad mood? They're typically invulnerable. They don't trust others. They're closed off. They're got that sword out. They're adversarial. Um, are places typically toxic? Do you notice that there's typically no social norms or code of conduct or a code of ethics being implemented by the managers in the environment, right? Your parents, if you're a parent, do you not have a code of ethics for your family that everyone needs to abide by in the house, right? Is it written down? Is it clear? Is it on the wall? Do you enforce it when people violate those norms or that code of conduct? If not, then you're describing that maybe there's some work you can do in regards to the character of those people or the places or the behaviors. Are behaviors antisocial? They're against the group. Is that a habit that people typically engage in an adversarial way of relating with everything in their life and with social groups? If so, that's not a very good habit, right? So you can change that character of that behavior by teaching someone some new skills and some new techniques and by enforcing consequences, natural and logical consequences associated with what would happen in the real world. You know, like if you go around bullying people as a kid and as a teenager, what's going to happen when you turn 18 and you do that? Someone's going to break your nose, right? Or someone's going to harm you in another way. Maybe you'll get arrested and you'll go to jail, right? So, and then there's going to be a lot of people there around you that are bullies, and they're going to want to hurt you even worse than you're hurting them. So life's going to go downhill real fast unless someone changes the character of those actions, right, that the person's habitually engaging in. And you can change the character of outcomes by getting involved in the planning process. You might have known someone who spent up to a year planning a wedding and, you know, getting the perfect wedding dress and the tuxedo and the cake and the venue and inviting the right guests because they don't want people fighting and getting into brawls at the reception. Um, just the right kind of beer or food, whatever it is you're into. Well, that's what we're talking about. If you want to change the character of the outcomes you're getting in life, if you want to have better experiences than you're having now, then you need to get involved in putting as much effort into planning your day-to-day life as you would put into a wedding, right? And because it's your life. It's more important than your wedding. That's just something that happens every day to you all the time. Anyways, we'll talk more about that in a minute.